statement?
Yeah. Obviously, we were searching for our offense, and I think Bethune Cookman did a nice job in their zone and kind of changing their defenses and taking things away that we need in order to be successful. And I also think that the shots that we got early, they were good shots. They were Miami shots, but when they don't go in, you know, we have to make an adjustment. We can't just keep hoping that they'll go in. 1 for 13 from the 3 in the second half. You know, 1 for 8 should probably be the end of the story. We shouldn't continue that and go 0 for 5 on top of that. And so, you know, I got in the guards' heads a little bit, and that really affected them. But as a coach, I'm paid to make adjustments. And as players, they're supposed to make the adjustments that I asked for. And I said, get the ball inside, get the ball inside. Well, Bethune really didn't want us to get the ball inside, so that's why we stalled out. But at the same time, it's a long season. And you know, you got to make the adjustments, and the players need to make the adjustments, and we got to get a lesson from this. And I really got on the post at halftime. I said, this was time for you guys to show up, and you weren't demanding the ball enough. So I thought the post players in the second half really, especially Erica and Key, they just got in there and they did the adjustments, and then that freed up Shelly Woods, and then she really changed the game.
Any questions? Katie, how much of these first 2 games and figuring out not just what works, but more importantly what doesn't?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're still working on that. I thought that the first game was just a very high-level basketball game, a ton of scoring and a high pace for this early in the season. And then this game, I think Bethune really just wanted to work all 30 seconds of their shot clock and make us play defense for 30 seconds. And they weren't, you know, they weren't turning it over at a high clip, and they were being real, you know, working the clock. And we had a lot of instances where we fouled with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock where we could have just, you know, froze them out because they did have enough shot clock violations. I mean, I asked the team if they had any idea how many points Bethune scored in the second quarter. No one had any idea. I'm like, they only scored 5. You did play defense, okay? But the problem was is you were so upset with our offensive field goal percentage that you didn't celebrate the fact that they only scored 5 points in the second quarter. And that should fuel us instead of just making threes. You know, and that's where we had a little offensive hangover, and we got to work through that.
Coach, clearly the other team, Bethune Cookman, forced you guys to going away from inside, trying to shoot more outside shots. Would you say that some of the threes were bad shots? Or
No.
They just weren't going?
They weren't, you know, but that's the thing. It's not like I thought anyone was taking a bad shot. It's just a matter of, you know, if you're a big-time player, you got to monitor. You know, I want everyone to think the next shot's going in. But then if we're the percentage that we were shooting too early in the shot clock. Those shots would have been there. So I said, I'm not asking you not to shoot a 3. I just don't want it in the first 20 seconds of the shot clock. It has been the last 10. So move the ball, share the ball, look, give the inside a look, and then you get a 3 at the last third of the shot clock. Let it fly. But you know, we hadn't been in that situation where every single shooter was cold, and we got to be able to win basketball games when that happens. So I learned a lot, and I think they learned a lot about me, and we'll get through it.
Anything else? Anything for Kiana or Erica?
Erica, just going on the road now, I mean, it's always nice to be at home. What do you think you guys are going to learn about yourselves with 3 games in the next week away from here?
Just learning how to play together, not on the home court. Playing outside of our comfort, because home is, you know, what we're used to. Just adjusting, as Coach mentioned. Adjustment is going to be a huge factor for us as a team, as a unit, more so as a family, and just coming together and knowing how to work through the kinks and just get the job done.
When you've on the road for the first time, is it almost, in a way, is it almost like a retreat's kind of the wrong word, but when it's just you, that's all there is. It's just you.
It's business.
Coaches. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just your little family.
Right.
And that sort of thing, that first road trip, does that help pull a team together, do you think?
Excuse me?
That first road trip, do you think that helps pull a team together?
Oh, definitely. Yes, I do.
Especially when we're going into a hornet's nest that is Old Dominion. That's a really tough place to play. It's tough to get a win there. And so we're going to be very, very challenged. We're going to have to really – we subbed a lot, and some of the subs came in and we missed the assignment, missed what was working. So we can't have those possessions where we're giving up layups because 4 people are in one defense and the sub's in a different one. So we got to work that out real quick. We don't have any time for wasted possessions.
Kara, what have these first 2 games been like for you?
They've been great. I mean, today was a little slow, but we got it together and we pulled it out.
Do you feel like you're back in rhythm? At this point, you still feel like you got some stuff to do?
I feel like I'm back in rhythm, but I can always have something to work on.
Double
Okay, you changed. It seemed like you tinkered with the back of the press. Like
Yeah.
From Friday to today.
Mm-hmm.
Still a work in progress?
Yeah, and I don't, it was kind of one of those deals where we needed to make field goals in order to press. And considering that we only had 9 in the first half, we didn't have many opportunities to do it. We put in a defense at halftime, to be quite honest, to start the second half, and we dropped it back to a half-court situation. And I thought the kids did a fantastic job with that one. So, it was just, we will work. This team has a very, very high IQ. I just don't think we were as focused. We were really pleased with our Wright State win. I probably was too pleased. I gotta stay in my business-like mode and, keep putting the hammer on these girls because that's what they need. That makes them great.
Do you find it's tough, that second game? In the first game,
It is.
So I met all the kids, it's opening night,
Yeah.
opening morning, and you're
Right.
and all this stuff. And then game 2, it's like,
Yeah, tough turnaround, and I had a lot going on, and I wasn't as focused myself either. So I'll get it back, and they'll respond to me. They do. They're really, really great, super kids.
were you hoping to get Old Main when you scheduled, or were you hoping to get it early? I mean, let me rephrase it. Going up there this early, how great of an experience can that be as far as what you're going to face in conference?
Right. Yeah. This is just. It's going to feel like an ACC road game for sure. And Adrian Motley going home. She's going to have a bunch of family there and everything. And we need to respond. I mean, you can, if you coach at Miami, you can get every home game you want. I mean, people want to come down and play us. They want to have a trip to Miami. So we usually have the 2 tournaments, and then we have people that say, we'll come play you. And so we could play at home the entire preseason if we wanted to. But I thought this group would be pretty special, and we've really challenged ourselves in a non-conference schedule, and they're all the really, really, really tough games. A lot of them are on the road. But we'll see. We'll see. We hadn't had an NCAA game at home yet, so until that happens, I better be ready to get some big wins on the road.